Oh, the devil are we? I'm Matt, and we're looking at some stories from 2024, a little bit off the off-beaten track. Let's have a look.
These were the most offbeat stories of 2024. From September, Andy Norton loved Lego. At age 6, Andy did what a lot of kids do, put them right up his nose.
I have a distinct memory of myself putting that in my nose.
Les Trent has more.
I'm glad he put it up his nose, to be honest.
And the little piece called a Lego dot wouldn't come
I mean, as opposed to somewhere else.
out. 6-year-old Andy concocted a plan that only a kid could come up with. Andy put a Lego man like this up the same nostril, hoping that it would click onto the dot and both pieces would come out at the same time.
Pretty clever thinking, I must admit.
I was hoping that the piece would stick to his head and I could just pull it out. But I didn't quite understand that if I did that, well, then his head was going to get stuck.
The Lego head got stuck too, and Andy's mom came to the rescue.
She's pulling him out with the tweezers, and as she's looking around, she's like, okay, there's nothing else left in here. We're good to go.
But Mom didn't realize the other tiny piece was still inside. For the next 26 years, Andy was tormented by congestion, asthma, and sleep apnea, but never made the connection. Then one day,
Down in the shower, doing my thing, and blow my nose in there, and out pops this Lego, and this memory came rushing back to me. I had a Lego up my nose for 26 years.
in February, this
Yeah, I get a little bit of congestion. I don't remember sticking anything up there, though. I mean, got a boxer's nose, but that's because I had a swift kick to the face. That's a story for another time.
couple splurged on a 5-star resort for their baby moon, but noticed something strange about the place.
This was kind of creepy, but we had this whole entire resort to ourselves. At first it started as a joke because I started recording on our first day and not seeing anybody but employees. But you can see as the days progress, it starts to freak us out.
Everywhere Cameron and Carly went at the Grand Villas Resort in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, it was just the two of them.
Things started getting a little creepier as we realized the activities were also by ourselves. So this is our room door. Echo! Cuckoo! How is this place paying for all these lights? How are these fire pits being lit all day, all night for us? Who is paying for all this? This entire kingdom just for us.
I mean, not being a little bit conspiratorial here, but if you're sort of filming at certain times of the day, like if you film the pool area at night, guaranteed that you can get a good shot where there's no one around. So if you're filming during the day, it might be a little bit more difficult, but if you're getting up at the crack of dawn, because like it's light at 4 AM, you could still probably get a good shot of no one being around. So it looks like you're alone in the resort. Why didn't you go to the buffet at dinner time and then do a film of the restaurant? Because I guarantee you it won't be empty. And why didn't you just go and ask the hotel? Are we the only ones here?
Do you feel like you just have everyone at your beckoning call for anything? We had, what, 6-ish restaurants to ourselves.
The best trip ever.
Gotta be someone here.
There were towels on them sunbeds as well, I noticed, on a few of them.
Also in February, Deborah and Scott Center got a beautiful new roof. The only problem, it was by mistake.
He was on a business trip and I decided to randomly go with him. So we were about 5 hours away. Meanwhile, here in Oklahoma City, we had an entire roofing crew show up at our house, trucks in the driveway, front driveway, back driveway, dipsy dumpster, and they start going to work completely tearing off our roof. The only problem was we didn't order a roof.
It took a few hours for employees to notice the mistake.
Somebody had texted numbers and had inverted 2 numbers and sent the crew to the wrong location, to our house. And then I think the project manager showed up at the right house and said, where are you guys? Where's the crew? And they're like, we're at the house tearing off the roof. And that's when we got a pretty frantic phone call.
They sent
So they get a new roof out of that, I assume, or some sort of compensation package. I don't know. Do crews just randomly turn up at a house without project managers being there, the gaffers being there, and just start ripping roofs apart?
Proof of the mix-up.
And then we start receiving these photos of our house, and we're like, oh my gosh, there's men crawling all over the roof. All the shingles are removed. It was a crazy sight.
The pair were good sports.
So the boss calls, a few minutes later, like as promised, and he's like, I just got to tell you straight up, we made a mistake. We can't do anything about it other than, we're going to put put a roof back on. It's going to be better than what you have.
The blunder cost Graco Roofing and Constructions a pretty penny,
About $30,000.
but saved the centers money.
Yeah,
To be fair, it probably saved them in the long term, because if you start suing them and going through all that palaver, it probably cost them a hell of a lot more money. They would have had to pay for the repairs anyway. So I can understand that they just footed the bill for the roof.
came over here a couple days after they finished it, and he's like, hey, I just want to come and personally apologize. Here's your warranty. Here's the information on the roof. Give it to your insurance company. It's going to save you some money. We got a new quote now that's going to save us.
And if you don't mind, I don't know, advertising the company, what good sports we are.
$3,500 a year on our insurance premium.
All right, don't start proper advertising it now, aren't they?
We totally feel like we won the roof lottery for sure.
Have you ever seen cows do this? In April, these cows were spotted jumping off a boat. It's how farmers in Ireland move them to graze on remote islands. Who knew cows were such good swimmers?
Bit of a non-story, but it's fair enough.
November, while people around the world watched the US presidential election, this artist in Kosovo depicted Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in a mosaic made of over 250 pounds of grains and beans.
I could think of better uses for grains and beans, to be honest.
What is essentially fresh fruit 250 years later is pretty spectacular.
Cherries seem to play a part in President George Washington's legacy, and the newest discovery at his former home just won't let the legends go. In June, in the cellars in Mount Vernon, Washington's Virginia plantation, archaeologists uncovered glass bottles filled with cherries and fruit.
The total bottle count was 35 bottles. That's recovered from 6 different storage pits. Of that 35, 6 were broken, so 29 of the bottles contained intact fruit contents. Of that, 12 bottles had cherries, 16 bottles had berries, probably gooseberries or currants, but we haven't confirmed that. And the last bottle had mixed cherries and berries.
Researchers
Cherries and berries and berries and berries. Why would you store cherries and berries in a bottle and then bury it? That's something they did back in the day, just to keep it, I don't know, refrigerated.
found the bottles accidentally, as Mount Vernon underwent a $40 million restoration project. Archaeologists believe the bottles were placed in storage pits in a cellar, which was then paved over with a brick floor. Besides the Washington family, Mount Vernon was also home to hundreds of enslaved men, women, and children. It was likely they were the ones who picked and then preserved the fruit.
Plantations like Mount Vernon are where all of these different styles of cooking and different plants and animals came together with European, native, and African antecedents. And all of that stuff is woven into a new cuisine, an American cuisine, and this
But why would you do it?
is part of that.
I can imagine that storing it is one thing, but surely as you're paving over it and creating a new loaf, you'd just remove the bottles and get rid of the bottles, unless for some reason they didn't know they were there.
So there is a lot of information that we're
What else is buried under there?
excited to get from these bottles, and they can tell us a lot about what life was like here.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture plans to conduct DNA testing on the well-preserved 250-year-old fruit.
Presumably they ended up on the Washington's table and were eaten either as just fruit out of the bottle, or they were baked into other confections or used in a different manner. We do know that the Washingtons were very fond of ice cream. These could have also ended up in ice cream. Who knows?
DNA testing on fruit. Why?
While the story about George Washington not lying about cutting down a cherry tree has been all but debunked, we do know the $1 founding father ate them.
Oh my God. Donnie, stand up.
In June, 3-year-old Donnie got stuck in a pineapple-themed stool from Michael's.
So my first response when I walked in the kitchen and saw him in there, I was just going to take a picture to send to my mom and to post on Facebook because I thought he was just being Donnie and he had just got inside. But after I took the picture and I started the video, I started to go ahead and take him out, and he wasn't, like, the top half of him would come out, but that's it.
She eventually called 911 for backup.
I think it was the fire chief. I saw him first, and he came over and sat down with Donnie, and he was like,
Surely you didn't call 911. So in the UK, we call 999. For anybody who's not in the UK watching this, and that's the emergency services. But there is different number to ring if you want to get hold of the police or fire brigade. That's not an emergency. We wouldn't ring 999 for a kid just stuck in a plant pot.
put your hands over your head. And Donnie doesn't listen. But this one time, he stuck his hands up, and he still wasn't going anywhere. They went out and there were some kind of scissors, and those didn't work.
After he was freed, Ebony says Donnie just started running around the house like nothing happened. She says life with Donnie has been an adventure ever since he was
What's it made out
born
of?
in the hospital's elevator.
I should have known, just his whole birth, I should have known that he was going to be the extra one.
She's lockjaw.
In May, after yawning, Jenna Sinatra couldn't close her mouth.
You know, I nearly did that once. Have you ever yawned so hard that you nearly pull a muscle in your jaw or your face? Oh, so painful.
Oh my God, I heard you. I hit it.
Allison Hall has more.
How did it happen? Jenna says she yawned and she suddenly found herself with her jaw locked in place. So literally it felt like you just could not close.
Yeah, it just would not shut. Like I tried going this way, tried going that way, tried massaging it, nothing worked.
Scraping the barrel with these stories, aren't they?
She was driven to a local emergency room in New Jersey.
So they
Woman yawned, lots of jaw.
gave me muscle relaxers and it helped, I guess, like relax my jaw. And then 4 of them shoved my jaw back together.
It took 4 medical personnel to put her jaw back in place.
One swift uppercut is all it takes.
Yes.
I'm not advocating that.
A New York City dentist has seen cases like lockjaw happen before.
What happens is your muscles can go into spasm and your lower jaw can slide out of place, and that can cause lockjaw.
She says if your jaw locks up, there are things you can do.
We're going to massage the muscles here all through the jaw. The massaging will relax the muscles. One of the important things is if this happens to you, do not get scared because the fear and anxiety could actually make it worse.
Jenna says going forward, she'll be very cautious.
Are you scared to yawn now?
I'm scared to yawn, yes. She's lockjaw.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindle.
I mean, scraping the barrel of some stories there, and probably filler for the nice puff pieces of Inside Edition. I've never done the lockjaw thing. I came close though. I mean, I was like, yawn, you've got a proper deep yawn. Then someone just goes, you got shit. That really hurt. Felt like I pulled something rather than like locking something. But luckily enough, never lockjaw. I can't open my mouth wide enough. Anyway, that's it for this one. You take care and I'll see you on the next one.